What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're continuing with our 32-team 7-round mock draft series. We're so close to the end. We're so close to the actual draft. Some actual football to distract us from everything. So it's looking pretty good. But we're here now today with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're getting into the list of the teams that don't have first-round selections. But I think the Steelers are pretty damn happy with Minkah Fitzpatrick. Was goddamn for the second half of the season last year. Maybe Defensive Player of the Year. He's playing at that kind of level. So I think they're pretty happy. And we're going to try our best with their limited picks, lack of premium picks, to get them back to where they want to be competing in the AFC North. So looking at them right at the rip, quarterback. They have Ben Roethlisberger coming back. Don't feel like they're overly confident with their depth there. So I think drafting the successor to Ben Roethlisberger, if they're there, should be one of the top priorities here this season for the Steelers. Because the Steelers, as long as they Big Ben, they're never going to be bad enough to get one of those premier picks to get like a Trevor Lawrence or a Justin Fields. So maybe get a good developmental quarterback in the second or third round this year, depending on who's there, and groom them. Because you're not going to have to throw them the wolves. They can learn behind Ben Roethlisberger. Could be good. You got James Conner, who's good when healthy, but he has struggled to stay healthy. You got Snell and Samuels. It does seem like a lot of Steeler fans do want them to draft a running back sooner than later. So I will, spoiler alert, I will have them select a running back, but not with one of their top picks. Wide receiver, they look pretty damn good. Juju Smith-Schuster, you got James Washington, Deontay Johnson. You got some good depth guys as well. I really do like their wide receiver depth. So I wouldn't worry about that unless there's like a BPA, because the wide receiver is so strong in this draft class. You might be able to get some good flyers later in the draft. Offensive line, you got Villanueva at left tackle. Could look to get maybe younger there. Wisniewski, solid, but you might want to get a long-term placement. Pouncey and DeCastro are getting up there in A. Really? They could go everywhere on the offensive line. Multiple offensive line picks, I would say, just to get younger and add some more depth for sure. So I think O-line and quarterback are the big needs for me when I'm looking at this offense. Again, Eric Ebron for pennies on the dollar. That could end up being one of the best value gets in free agency. Flipping to the defense. So no more Javon Hargrave. Thank you very much as an Eagle fan. But Hayward and Tuitt are so damn solid. Doesn't really matter who you have as long as you don't have a liability in there at D tackle, at nose tackle. But I will actually have them draft a nose tackle because that is a glaring need. Linebacking core is pretty damn good. Dupree had a breakout season. TJ Watt's one of the best 3-4 linebackers in the game. You're hoping Bush can take another big step, and Williams is solid. Maybe add a couple depth players here, or a depth player or two to the inside linebacking core could be helpful. Safeties, you got Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's good. Edmonds, hopefully he continues to develop. You're not going to be ready to give up on him yet. In the secondary, you got Joe Hayden, you got Mike Hilton. I think corner, I'm looking here. I would say corner and nose tackle would be the two needs on the defensive side of the ball here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I kind of remember I have them getting a nose tackle. I don't remember when and where, or if I have them getting a corner. I hope I do, because, you know, definitely need some help there. Definitely need some, especially after they swung and missed on Artie Burns when they spent a premier pick. I think he was a former first-round pick out of Miami. So there you go, guys. That's kind of laying the land here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So without further ado, let's get into the 7-round mock draft for Pittsburgh. So I had to wait a little bit. Enjoy Minkah Fitzpatrick. That was your first-round pick. And pretty much for the second half, I think, of the NFL season last year, that's probably Defensive Player of the Year. I think you're pretty satisfied with that. So we're now looking here for the Pittsburgh Steelers at pick 49. We're either selecting Jake Fromm, quarterback from Georgia, 6'1", 225 pounds. I think they're about ready to... It's a little early still, but I think they saw last year with the injury to Ben Roethlisberger, they don't have a successor. It's not going to be Mason Rudolph. It's not Duck Hodges. They got Paxton Lynch and JT Barrett. They're really throwing everything at the wall and see what sticks. It could be Jake Fromm. I think Jake Fromm could be the area. He has a chance to develop into something. I personally think he should have returned to school, but now he could sit behind Ben Roethlisberger, try to refine and improve his arm talent somehow. He already comes in. He's a smart player, doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, an accurate passer, but also there's always bias because I'm a Gator fan and I don't like Georgia. And every time I saw Jake Fromm play, he wasn't playing particularly well, but he did heat up towards the end of last season. They got some really good wide receivers. He showed some great chemistry, especially in the bowl game. It's just the arm talent, man. Like, how many players have gone from college to the pros that had suspect arm talent, like throw power, being able to fit in tight windows, and got better at it? You know, everyone always goes in the offseason, works for those quarterback gurus, but does it really work? So, I mean, buyer beware of Jake Fromm. But I think in the second round, you know, why not? Why not take another swing? Because we don't know how much more you're going to get of Ben Roethlisberger. Next year could be his final year, and you're not going to feel comfortable going in Rudolph or Duck Hodges. You probably feel more comfortable if Jake Fromm sits on the bench and be like, well, maybe we got something there. Kind of like a lesser, like Jarrett Stidham, kind of how the Patriots are viewing that just a little bit. So yeah, moving on to the third round at pick 102, I was liking Devon Hamilton, D tackle from Ohio State, 6'3", 320, had a breakout 2019 where he had 10.5 TFL, 6 sacks for Ohio State. I think he should be able to push for Javon Hargrave's replacement in the middle of that Steelers defensive line. Tested well at the combine, 320, so he's built like a nose tackle, 5'1", 33 reps on the bench press. I am higher on him than most. He did pop a lot when I watched him play for Ohio State. And when you're looking at that, as an Eagle fan, I thank you, Pittsburgh, for Javon Hargrave, but you're going to need a new nose tackle. And it's not going to be Daniel McCullers. You know, you got to get someone that can play in the middle of Cam Hayward and Stephon Tuitt, and I think you might be able to get that in the third round in Devon Hamilton. Moving to the fourth round, I picked 124. I was liking Matt Peart, tackle from UConn, 6'6", 320, elite length. He was 2019 first team AAC, has all the tools and traits, and if he can get stronger, he could eventually be a starter at right tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right now, at right tackle, you got Matt Feeler, Zach Banner. You know, even at left tackle, Villanueva is no spring chicken. He's 31. So you got a core 4 third-round pick out of Western Michigan. Hopefully he can eventually be a starter for you guys. I think Feeler was okay, like average, but he's a guy that bounced around the league. Get some stability. Get actually a guy that has a great upside, great potential to eventually be like a long-term starter on a Steelers offensive line that's getting old. They got to get ready to reload here. You know, this was once one of the most dominant offensive lines in football. They're getting old. DeCastro's getting old. Pouncey's getting old. You know, you're seeing all the, Big Ragu retired. All these guys, Marcus Gilbert's gone. I think a guy like Matt Peart, a lot of upside. His pass protection looked really good on a really bad UConn team. He did stand out. I think he can play left or right tackle, play 2 years left, 2 years right. I think it's a really nice tackle prospect to bring in there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have another fourth-round pick at 135. Rather than Anthony McFarland Jr., running back from Maryland, 5'8", 210. James Conner's availability has been a bit of a concern there. Let's be honest, I'm a James Conner fantasy guy. Pretty much always have Jalen Samuels on my roster. So, get a running back with upside who can complement James Conner if he's healthy and offers more upside as a fill-in if he gets hurt, if he continues to get banged up, than, say, Jalen Samuels, who's like a really nice receiving back, was able to be productive. You got Benny Snell. There's just word on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, they're looking to bring in another running back. Now, I'm sitting here in the fourth round. McFarland is still there. I mean, he got 4.4 speed, so he'd instantly be the fastest running back in that room. Brings great vision, can make guys miss in open field. I think he has upside to develop as a receiver. I just think generally it's a great fit for Pittsburgh, with the word being out of there when I was kind of looking at the mock draft that they are looking to add another running back to complement James Conner, Jalen Samuels, and Benny Snell. Because you remember Jalen Samuels, tight end convert. He wasn't a true running back. He played everything. He was like an offensive guy. So it'd be interesting to see if they do actually add a running back. But in the fourth round, McFarland's still there. Yes, sir. Going to the sixth round at pick 198, I was letting Charlie Heck, tackle from North Carolina, 6'7", 310 pounds, a swing tackle who brings length, much like Matt Peart, and scouts really do rate his footwork, but he can get to the next level of consistency on run plays. He's going to be a right tackle. More so with Peart, he can play left, he can play right. I think Heck is going to be a right tackle. But look at the depth chart here on the Steelers. I think he'd be tackle 4 or 5 on their depth chart. They have Villanueva at 1, you have Feeler at 2, Chuck Okor 4 at 3, Matt Peart at 4, and then you'd be able to get Charlie Heck at 5. Just, again, getting long guys that can project to develop into really nice linemen. Because let's be honest, Pittsburgh, they've developed linemen fairly well. So I think a guy like Matt Peart and Heck, you might be able to get 2 long-term starters going 2021, 2022, somewhere in that range. Because you're getting guys. You can't teach length. You can teach technique. You can add strength, but you can't make a 6'3", 6'4 tackle into a 6'7 tackle. So, you go with the big guy, and hopefully you can develop him and have a similar success rate to, say, Villanueva. And then finishing up the draft in the 7th round at pick 231, I was letting Kendrick Rogers, wide receiver from Texas A&M, 6'4", 210, very athletic, running a 4.51 jump ball guy who has a ways to go in terms of route running. He's very much a project receiver at this point. His route running is pretty much, hey, run in a straight line and win jump ball. And there's obviously a little bit of appeal to that. You're looking at the Steelers' depth chart at wide receiver. They got a lot of names. Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington, their starters. You got Dante Johnson, 3rd-round pick last year. I was actually shocked. Still, let's be honest, Steelers just have no regards for consensus draft boards. They just draft whoever they want, as we saw with Dante Johnson, as we saw with Terrell Edmonds, just to name a few. But, beyond that, they actually got a lot of solid. I actually really do like their wide receiver depth, if I'm going to be honest with you. Schwitzer's solid. Deion Kane has upside. Custis has upside. Anthony Johnson was really good at Buffalo. Quadri Henderson was dynamic at Pitt. But throw in Kendrick Rogers. Got that speed, man. Deion Kane doesn't got speed. Custis doesn't have speed. Anthony Johnson doesn't have speed. That's why these guys were UDFA, super late round picks. Rodgers, at least, late round pick in that mold, but none of those guys got that 4.5 speed. None of those guys are 6'4 with that 4.5 speed. So just add on a project wide receiver because the physical traits are really, really promising. So there you go, guys. That is my 7-round mock draft here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Behind the scenes, this is really my last one I got to record, so I'm excited for this one to be done. Hope you guys did enjoy it, and hope you guys enjoyed it. If you are a Steeler fan, let me know in the comment section below how you feel about the picks. If you like them, if you hate them, and everything in between. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoyed, and until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.